Hey everybody, my name is Elvis, and you're watching Joan of Our House. If you're new here, I gave myself the challenge to watch 365 movies in 365 days. Right now, we're in the month of October, also known as spooky season, Halloween. So, this whole month, I've been watching scary movies, and I feel like I haven't been watching enough scary movies. There's so many scary movies, and there's only so many that I can watch without ruining my social life. With that being said, let's start talking about movies. The first movie that I saw in the second week of October was Firestarter. She has the power to set objects on fire with just one glance. Charlene Charlie McGee has the amazing ability to start fires with just a glance. Can her psychic powers and the love of her father save her from the threatening government agency which want to destroy her? I just did not care about this movie. I felt nothing for this movie, and this movie was just weak for me. The eye patch guy was cool, I guess, in a kind of like Scooby Doo way. I recognize him from The Exorcist 3. We'll talk about that later. Baby Drew Barrymore, a serious talent as a kid. And to think that she was more than likely around people urging her to drink alcohol and do drugs is wild. God, dude, I didn't really get anything about this. Both Drew Barrymore and the eye patch guy played by George C. Scott, I thought they were pretty cool. Probably the only things that I liked about him, about this movie, really. I think the whole like kind of horror aspect, follow like tying with government conspiracies and whatnot, just did not fall for me. I didn't really like this movie, and I think even the end was just dumb for me. I mean, it was cool, just over the top, but like, oh my god, I was already done with this movie, and it almost turned into like some kind of action flick at the end. This movie can go kick rocks. The next movie that I saw was Children of the Corn, and A Child Shall Lead Them. A traveling couple end up in an abandoned Nebraska town inhabited by a cult of murderous children who worship a demon that lives in the local cornfields. Also, fuck this movie too. This movie sucked. For the longest time, I've seen like memes, references, saying that this is the most horrifying depiction of evil children and whatnot. Hell no, this movie sucks. I did not like this movie at all. Everything was just stupid about this movie. The ending was laughable, and the doctor was a fucking idiotic man pulling a knife out of his chest, then jumping into a circle of kids who wanted to kill him. I've never seen this movie, and I regret even watching it. Like I'm thinking about what's the kid's name? Malachi and Isaac. Isaac is the kind of the more well-known character. He's a smaller kid with the big brim hat. That kid was so annoying to me. The way that he would preach and whatnot, and like just kind of have this threatening presence to him, that was kind of cool, I guess. But by the end of it, I was like, dude, shut the hell up. I was with the kids who wanted to crucify them. And then Malachi, the kid had some chompers on him, and he was more scarier than Isaac. I guess that's the point. But this movie was dumb, and that doctor of a husband, it's always with these movies, whether they're horror movies or not. There's always a husband, and I immediately assume that they're a fuck ass husband that aren't good for anything. And this guy, I don't care about spoilers. This movie's been out for like nearly 30 years or so. 1984, sure. More than 30 years, what the hell? Anywho, this fuck ass husband or boyfriend, whatever he is, gets stabbed in the chest. This medical professional pulls out this knife and continues running. What a fucking idiot. And then there's a group of like all these kids that are about to kill this person, and he jumps in the center. Dude, I'm done talking about this movie. This movie can go kick rocks, and I'm leaving it in the cornfields. The next movie that I saw was Audition. She always gets a part. 7 years after the death of his wife, widower Shinjiharu seeks advice on how to find a new wife from a colleague taking advantage of their position as a film company. They stage an audition, interviewing a series of women. Shinjiharu is enchanted by the quiet Asami, but soon things take a twisted turn as Asami isn't what she seems to be. So I saw this with Nicole. Hi, baby. I have no words to explain what I just saw, nor do I think I really want to give you what I saw. This movie was horrifying. Absolutely a horror I can't explain. Absolutamente un terror que no puedo explicar. The kaleidoscope of horror is terrifying enough, and it only gets worse and worse. From the feeding scene to the collapse, it is a roller coaster of every terrible feeling you could have in the span of 30 minutes. I had to shorten down or paraphrase what I just saw. Two things. The feeding scene, and if you've seen it, you know. That scene was horrible. And then the falling scene where the guy collapses. So this I don't even know if I can tell you. This I will say in editing Elvis. You'll figure out what to cut. Asami is this incredibly terrifying, harmless person who is so unsuspecting, and that's what catches you off guard. I have known this movie as this is the movie where the lady, what the hell is it called? This is the movie where the lady does acupuncture on somebody and tortures them. That is the only way that I've known this movie. After watching this movie, I don't even know how to describe it. This movie is horrifying, it's disturbing, it's uncomfortable, it's saddening, it's gruesome, it's every possible negative feeling that you could have is squished and churned into this kaleidoscope effect of psychedelic horror that you just wish would end. Was I afraid? Yeah. I was freaked out. Was I disturbed? 100% yes. When me and Nicole were watching that scene of the feeding scene into the collapsing scene, we were so damn quiet. We didn't say a single thing. All I could hear between us is our breathing getting faster and deeper, and her leg on my thigh squeezing like as if she was in a roller coaster going into this horrible ride. And that's exactly what it is. God, this movie is fucked up. You should watch it if you hate your life. This will not do you any good. Oh, actually, let me back up. From TikTok, the username was ENB. You had given me the recommendation to watch Audition. Thanks. The next movie that I saw was Sinister. Once you see him, nothing can save you. True crime writer Ellison Oswald is in a slump. He hasn't had a best-selling in more than 10 years and is becoming increasingly desperate for a hit. So when he discovers the existence of a snuff film showing the deaths of a family, he vows to solve the mystery. He follows his own family into the victim's home and gets to work. However, when old film footage and other clues hint at the presence of a supernatural force, Ellison learns that living in the house may be fatal. Ricky and Alice, if you're watching, hey guys! Uh, and it was one of your recommendations from my TikTok video. An actually decent horror movie. I saw this in the theaters and I walked out because my cousin's date was too afraid. I was scared too, but to walk out? Ethan Hawke is so good in this movie, and I feel like every role for a man in a horror movie is to be a fuck ass husband, and he plays it perfectly. The sinister character doesn't do anything for me, but the ambience of the rolling film is so nice and spooky also. Where the hell are all of the overhead lights at? So with my previous video, I started doing this thing where I have this like a cut in like a rolling film, kind of like noise, the flips, the I think those noises are really cool. They're really fun. Listening to them in this movie makes me nervous. The rolling film, the weird ambient spooky vibes that get built up, and the darkness in all of the movies. And speaking of the darkness, there is no overhead lighting in this movie. I They mention in the beginning of the movie that they have to live a particular way. I think like I think one of the kids asks like, "Hey, when are we gonna get a TV? Or like when are we gonna do something that involves electricity?" And the parents are like, "Not right now, until we get settled in and we can actually pay for stuff." And that happens pretty early in the movie. So the rest of the movie, I'm thinking these people are truly living without lights over their head. Like, I mean, there's lamps, of course, but there's only lamps. There's no like ceiling lights. That's what they're called, ceiling lights. And I thought that was interesting, and very added much to the ambience. There's a lot of like window shots and lamp shots, but no fully lit rooms. Yeah. Cutting into the kind of flapping of the film roll, and the watching these like horror videos, there's something about watching like vintage film grain horror that just kind of gives this like, ooh, this is very uncomfortable to watch. From the trailer, especially when the four family members hang from the tree. God, very creepy, very scary. To the burning car or the lawnmower scene. God, dude, I felt horrible watching this movie. And Ethan Hawke playing an incredible fuck ass husband is he is so like selfish and like self-absorbed. He doesn't care about his family and what happens as long as he gets this book, and only until he is he is threatened like by death does it finally click on to him that like, I should probably get my family out of here, and this isn't worth my time or my life. Spooky movie. I don't know why they made a second one. The second movie that I saw was Scanners. 10 seconds, the pain begins. 15 seconds, you can't breathe. 20 seconds, you explode. After a man with extraordinary and frighteningly destructive telepathic abilities is nabbed by agents from a mysterious rogue corporation, he discovers he is far from the only possessor of such strange powers. Some of the other scanners have their minds set on world domination, while others are trying to stop him. Okay, so why did his head do that? I'm just kidding. This was a very weird movie in a cool sense. The staring battles and even the car chase felt like something straight out of an X-Men comic book. The twist at the end and the final battles are crazy, but somehow not crazy enough as the first mind battle. The ending with the eyes was really weird. Like, how did that work in that logic of the movie? I can almost understand the nervous system of a computer, but that? Crazy. So this was made in 1981, but it feels a lot older than that. Pretty sure, very sure, you've seen some kind of clip of the first mind battle scene, and that first guy delivers it in such a compelling performance where I thought, damn, that is very scary or nerve-wracking, and I can feel that guy's fear. But then go to the last mind battle, I'm thinking that's not very scary, nor thrilling, nor do I feel the stakes are that high, if that makes sense. With, oh, Jesus, I'm so thirsty. With, there's a chase scene with the van, and all the other scanners were talking about how they've been ostracized and kicked out and are being hunted, and those kind of lines, or the lines that they were saying, reminded me of the X-Men comic books and how they felt and how they were treated to being as mutants. Does that make sense? Am I talking too crazy about this? He said yes. So I should probably stop talking about this. This movie was cool, but in a very weird sense. The next movie that I saw was Night of the Living Dead. A ragtag group barricade themselves in an old Pennsylvania farmhouse to remain safe from a horde of flesh-eating ghouls ravaging the Northeast. This movie is so perfect. Seeing how every time I assume... So sometimes I don't really know what I'm typing, because sometimes I'll type while I'm watching the movie as I do my notes, and I have a typo and I can't figure it out. Seeing how every I me assume unspoken rule of society gets flipped, such as children loving their parents, with the daughter not eating the mother in the traditional zombie way, but killing her, destroying the idea of a happy family. The wife loving the husband and backing him up is also flipped. The sister and brother are supposed to love and protect each other, are the ones to destroy themselves. The black man who is in this time has been seen as not fit for the role is the strongest character in the movie, and the smartest, might I add. And then for the movie to show the brutality of killing zombies and how normal it is to treat those zombies, then to flip it at the end when, spoiler alert, when Ben is shot in the head, and those same white people, when Ben is shot in the head and these white people and show up, and how they treat the zombie is exactly how they would have treated any other black man in a racist KKK fashion, is not only disgusting but bridges the horror with reality, and we too are living in a horror movie. Fucking brilliant.
He's just hungry for knowledge, that's all. Yeah, that brother's starving.
I fucking love this movie. If you're watching, shout out to Mr. Holder for showing me this movie back in high school. You're a real one, and I hope everything is going great for you. So this movie was made in 1968, almost right in the middle, if not towards the end, of the civil rights movement. And around that time, it was very common for you to see black people being mistreated, dragged, beaten, and killed. Towards the end of the movie, when Ben is shot, these white people who are also just a group of white people doing what they think is right, which it is right that they are going around killing zombies. The way that these white people are dragging this black man around is horrifying. It's disgusting and it's cruel. But it wasn't cruel when we saw them as zombies. In Night of the Living Dead, we follow Barbara and Ben. Barbara is the first character that we see, and her brother teases her in a graveyard. And that's when the first zombie attack happens to Barbara, at least. And Ben is affected and is bonked on the head and dies. She runs away into a house where there's a few more people there, and it's a group of all these people. Let's go with the father, wife, husband, wife, and daughter. That is a group on its own. Then there's the boyfriend, girlfriend that is there. Barbara, who is her own self, and her brother, whoever. And then there's Ben. Ben is our probably the hero of the movie. He is the strongest, the most intelligent of the group, and he's also black. Around this time, it was pretty uncommon, if not rare, that a black person is held at such a degree. With that being said, the way that this movie slowly builds up to horror, also, I mean, like by face value, with all these zombies attacking everybody and barricading the house. That is the first form of horror that we're seeing through this, but also the horror that is playing out through the radio. Throughout this whole movie, you see glimpses of information of what is going on in the nation of zombies and how they're all kind of collapsing and being bombarded with all these zombies, and nobody has information, nobody has power, nobody has the upper hand on this zombie situation. So we're all trapped in this nation with beings that could seriously hurt us. I mean, it's talking about how society is practically flipping on itself and destroying itself. These people and who they play in society, their roles are flipped and destroyed, such as the husband and wife. In the traditional sense, the husband and wife love each other, care for each other, and support each other. On top of that, they also have a daughter who, in the kind of nuclear family, that should be a very loving family. That is not the case in this. The husband is a complete jackass, self-absorbed, thinks he's always right, narcissistic ass dickhead, while the wife is completely fed up with him, is over him, and is just unsupportive and wants out. The daughter, who is sick, is, in the nuclear sense, supposed to honor her mother and her father and be supporting. I mean, this is all riddled with spoilers. The daughter has a bite on her leg, I think, and she ends up turning into a zombie. And throughout this whole movie, they're talking about how these ghouls are eating the flesh and eating the victims, but not the daughter. The daughter picks up a garden pick, like a garden shovel, and stabs her mother. She doesn't eat her mother, she stabs her mother. destroying the idea of a loving family completely. That happens, they die, blah 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 blah. The brother and sister, who in the nuclear sense are supposed to be a team, they're supposed to look out for each other. And spoiler alert, the brother dies in the beginning and comes back as a zombie, and the zombie brother is the one to destroy Barbara. She dies. Ben, the strong black man of the figure, he's the only one that's putting up with everybody's bullshit and is trying to create a team to survive this. With everybody dying, he has to leave into the basement and hold off until the morning, or until help comes. Help does come, and it's a group of white men with guns, the most dangerous species on Earth, and they're clearing house on any zombies. Ben, who already has a gun, is trying to figure out if it's even safe outside. And with this kind of slight window of opportunity, these white people point their gun and just shoot at whatever is moving. They don't check if this person is human. They don't give any call outs. They don't have any precautions. They just see everybody as a zombie. They shoot and kill Ben. When it's time to clear that house, they have these butcher hooks. They're kind of like handle with like butcher hook, and they go around picking up these zombie bodies with that hook. But they don't show them picking up zombies. They show Ben, and something about, maybe because it was in black and white, maybe because it was these white people picking up this black man, maybe it was the brutality that they showed to the zombies flipped into our reality. Historically, the way America has treated people of minority, people of color, is exactly how these group of white people treated zombies. They treated them without any care, with brutality, with disregard of their life, and they pick up Ben and put him next to all these zombies and light those bodies on fire. This movie is groundbreaking. This movie is amazing. There's so much history to this movie that I won't get into, but I will put articles in my description below so that you can read. And this movie's perfect. This movie's amazing, and it is dated, but this movie is very good. You should watch this movie. Actually, Rick, if you're watching, please watch this movie. I know I kind of spoiled the whole movie to you, but you might like this movie. I kind of popped off in that one. Damn. We're gonna kind of skip this one. The next movie that I saw was The Infernal Cauldron. This movie was made in 1903, so there isn't really much to say about this movie. A green-skinned demon places a woman and two courtiers into a flaming cauldron. The description was a spoiler. That's exactly what happens. This movie is about 2 minutes long, and I need a break, so I'm counting it. The next movie that I saw was Freaks. Can a full-grown woman truly love a midget? Not my words, the description of the movie. A circus's beautiful trapeze artist agrees to marry the leader of a sideshow performers, but his deformed friends discover she is only marrying him for his inheritance. Why should people laugh at you? Most people do. They don't realize that I'm a man with the same feelings they have. This was a line very early in the movie, and it sets a tone that this isn't a typical exploitive film about disfigurements and the circus life, and it treats its characters with empathy and compassion. There is a point in this movie where the fool realizes he's been conned, and the shame and embarrassment on his face just hurts, and even apologizes. They still, and even when apologized to, they still joke about the situation. That just further shows the disdain the circus people have when disrespected, especially by ones they call their own. Rick, Alice, if you're watching, hey again. Nicole, if you're watching, hey baby. I talked about this movie very briefly at your Halloween party. I have never seen this movie, but I know that um, the old traditional black and white Dracula that you know from this image, probably right here. The director for that movie is the same director for this movie. And what I know about it is that after making the movie Freaks, it was such a controversial movie that it actually nearly, if not ended his career um, entirely. With that being said, this movie treats its characters with so much respect and compassion because that's exactly how people need to be treated. These people, despite being atypical in their form, should never be treated in such a way that the villain of this movie treats them. I think with that line in the beginning, or actually the line in the end, the sideshow ringleader, he has all of these feelings of betrayal, and he says something that just broke my heart. Actually, let me look it up. So these lines happen between Frida and Hans. Now that I'm here, I don't know how to say it, how to make you understand. If you knew how I feel, Hans, to come to you about her. Oh, Frida, I'm so sorry. I don't want to hurt you, but Iflin, but I cannot help it. If you could be happy, Hans, I would not care. But I am happy, Frida. Never in my life was I so happy. No, Hans, you think it only for you, but she cannot bring happiness. To me, you're a man, but to her, you're only something to laugh at. God dang, this movie is so damn good. Not only is the story, although simple, very, very well done. You truly feel the heart and humanity that these people have, and how somebody so disgusting and so typically beautiful and typically normal is. Oh my god. This movie has so much heart, compassion, and respect for those in this life. I don't know how to explain it. I really like this movie, and I hope you watch it. And if you do, um, damn, I hope you watch it. I really like this movie. The next movie that I saw was The Hills Have Eyes. The Lucky Ones Die First. Based on Wes Craven's 1977 suspenseful cult classic, The Hills Have Eyes, and the story of a family road trip that goes terrifyingly awry when the travelers become stranded in a government atomic zone miles from nowhere. The Carter family soon realize the seemingly uninhabited wasteland is actually the breeding ground of a bloodthirsty mutant family, and they are prey. So I didn't know that this was a remake or a reboot. I saw the one from 2006, and I did not like this movie. This movie sucked, and the only way that I can describe this movie is a Democrat learns the power of the right to bear arms. Maybe it's my fault for not doing research, I should have seen the original one first, but I was very limited and I already saw 30 minutes of it and I thought, fuck this movie. Then when it came time to me to finish a movie or watch a movie when I didn't really have the energy or motivation to watch a movie, I thought, well, I only have an hour left, I might as well watch it. And this movie sucked. I do not like this movie. I don't like the way it's shot. I don't like the lighting. I don't like. Go kick rocks. The next movie that I saw was It Comes at Night. Fear turns men into monsters. Secure with a desolate home as an unnatural threat terrorizes the world. A man has established a tenuous domestic order with his wife and son, but this will soon be put to a test when a desperate young family arrives seeking refuge. The whole time watching this, I kept thinking, why? What is the reason why any of this is happening? What is out there? Why are we checking hands and eyes? What am I supposed to look for? How does the infection look like? And was those crazy ass dreams one of the symptoms? The ending was really interesting and the whole movie is shot nicely. The thing that I have about this movie is that I'm a viewer and I should be engulfed in the movie, in the world of the movie. You see what I'm saying? Like, think about The Thing, if you've seen it. Damn, I haven't seen that movie. Well, I mean, I have, but not for this month. Think about The Thing and how you are also unaware of the situation, but are slowly learning and understanding and being acclimated into the world of The Thing. And because you are acclimated and know and are learning what's going on in this situation, you also have the same fears that these characters are going through, right? But with It Comes at Night, I'm unaware. I'm unaware of the situation, and I am not taught anything about this situation. So I'm not in the world of It Comes at Night. I'm just a viewer, safe away from the situation, and do not have to partake in this situation because I don't know anything about the situation. Do you see what I'm saying? I am a bystander to this film that isn't trying to invite me in nor teach me. The only thing that I know is that we don't go outside at night and we always have a buddy system, and I need to look at hands and eyes, and I know black liquid is not good, and I know that it can be transmitted. So all of that is not a spoiler because all of that is given to you, and I still don't know what the stakes are and why I should be afraid in this world. If you've seen this movie and you like this movie, please let me know your thoughts, your opinions, and why you like this movie. I want to understand why people like this movie, and I want to understand if I'm missing something. If I'm wrong about my opinions, please teach me. But for the time being, I did not like this movie. The last movie that I saw in the second week of October was Pan's Labyrinth, El Laberinto del Fauno. Innocence has a power evil cannot imagine. In post-Civil War Spain, 10-year-old Ophelia moves with her pregnant mother to live under the control of her cruel stepfather. Drawn into a mysterious labyrinth, she meets a faun who reveals that she may be a lost princess from an underground kingdom. To return to her true father, she must complete a series of surreal and perilous tasks that blur the line between reality and fantasy. Absolutely love this movie. I only wish I can be in it. and experience and believe the magic and fantasy of this world. The escapist fantasy is so nicely done with this story, and the creatures are just the perfect ratio of creepy and cute. So I didn't really. So I've seen this before. I'm a huge fan of Guillermo del Toro and all of his movies and stuff like that. The Orphanage. I love the kind of dark creepiness of it. I love the exploration. I love the mystery. I love the riddles in some sense, and I love the horror. I love the thrilling aspect of this, and I even love the kind of like militia going against the government aspect of this. Yeah, there's not much I can say negatively about this movie. Very well done. I love this movie. And if you can, buy me this movie for Christmas on the Criterion collection. Yeah, yeah. I really like this movie. Mhm. Well, that is all the movies that I saw in the second week of October, and thank you, Rosalia. Thank you, Ricky. Thank you, ENB. Thank you, Cal. Thank you. Uh, thank you, Nicole. You're coming up next week, and thank you, Tubi. Thank you, HBO. Thank you, Disney Plus, and thank you, YouTube. And yeah, there's gonna be some. I'm really excited for the last week of October, and yeah, I'm just thinking about it right now. I'm really excited. Um, my name is Elvis, and you're watching Joan of Art House, and I am super excited that you're still here watching, and thank you so much. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, Joe. Uh, and yeah, thanks everybody who have liked, commented, and subscribed. I'll see you guys next week, and I'm really excited. And I probably might not stop watching movies for a little bit. I probably might watch a few more in November, but yeah, thank you so much for watching, and damn. This is my favorite holiday. This is my favorite holiday, so I'm just excited this whole month. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week, and see you later. Bye. 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 The next movie that I saw was Children of the Corn, and a small child shed, and a child shall. Holy hell!